From going full steam ahead to beating the summer temperatures, this Thursday magazine promises to be a diverse and interesting one. So if you're in for the ride, don't go anywhere. I'm Theodore Henry, and we'll be right back.
Hey boy, move out of my way, man. Me I go get my lunch before you, Both it there at the front of the line.
Yes, there are times when other students will try to get you out of your peaceful state. They will say something that will trigger you. They will cut in front of the line at lunch or wherever you are, and that will get you upset. But remember, you have control over your reaction to what happens to you. You have no control over what other people will do. Peace Day in schools must act as a conduit to inspire young people to become the driving force behind the vision for a united and sustainable Jamaica. Teaching our children about peace isn't just talking about war and conflict. Peace is about kindness, fairness, inner peace, respect for the environment, and so much more. Thoughts, words, gestures of unanimity create a mentality and a culture of peace and a respectful, honest, and cordial atmosphere. No place more that we'd like to see peace than in our schools.
People dying, if we care enough for living, make a better place for you and for me.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, June 29, 2023. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has announced that government will be replicating the integrated community development that is taking place at St. Paul's Lane in Tower Hill, St. Andrew, in other sections of the island. The $350 million development is being carried out by the National Housing Trust, NHT, and the Housing Agency of Jamaica, HAJ. It is aimed at bringing structure to informal settlements. The housing development will accommodate 24 families, and there are plans to expand with an additional 12 units.
The persons who are beneficiaries have all agreed to have their structures taken down, and they have all agreed to temporarily relocate. Many of them now are living under less than acceptable circumstances, but they have agreed to make the sacrifice because they see it is for their own betterment, but they are also guaranteed that the development will be very rapid.
Prime Minister Holness was in the community on Tuesday, sensitizing stakeholders on the project.
I'm indeed pleased to be here today to see what is actually happening on the ground, and we're looking forward to being able to assist in the financing of this very valuable project for the community.
Completion of the development is projected for the next 2 months. Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie is reaffirming the administration's commitment to improving the circumstances of people living in deplorable conditions.
We have been building houses such as this, giving hope to families, ensuring that there is a proper roof over their heads, giving them the hope of the prosperity that we've been talking about since 2016. And it's not a matter of just talking about it, but demonstrating in the real way our commitment to respond to the plight of persons
Minister Mackenzie was speaking in Brompton, St. Elizabeth, where a grateful Shaya Farquharson received a new home under the government's indigent housing program. The new homeowner was brought to tears following the assistance and expressed her gratitude.
I would like to say a big thank you for my kids that are not here because they had a roof over their head. Thank you very much.
Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining Floyd Green is promising that more mining lands will now be put to productive use. The construction of 20 greenhouses has already begun in Kirkvine, Manchester, where 20 farmers have pooled their resources. Each grower will be allotted a greenhouse. Minister Green says the Kirkvine cluster was developed through the use of former bauxite grounds and community resources.
For far too long, a lot of the land that has been utilized in mining has not been put to other productive use. And that has to come to an end. Is to use what used to be bauxite pits and turn them into rainwater harvesting ponds and use solar energy to use that water to run the greenhouses.
The minister was speaking at the recent launch of the annual Agricultural, Industrial and Food Show in Whitemarl, St. Catherine. The Ministry of Education has signed a Memorandum of Understanding MOU with the Digicel Foundation to create a smart room at Mineral Heights Primary School in Clarendon. The signing ceremony was held at the school on Monday. It was done to reaffirm the foundation and the ministry's commitment to offering a cutting-edge learning environment that fosters digital literacy and equips students for the challenges of the future.
This initiative will open doors to better education, improve job prospects, and opportunities for personal and professional growth.
The room will be outfitted with 12 laptops and 12 tablets with headphone connections, as well as a smart screen and a commercial printer.
We are confident that the staff here and the management system will make full use to ensure that there is adequate infusion in all aspects of school life so that our learners can be the game changers that they are meant to be.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness continues to receive support for the improvement of healthcare services through clinics across the island. The latest partnership is with Surgix Jamaica Limited for the adoption of the Inata Bay Health Centre in St. Mary. At a brief ceremony on Friday, Portfolio Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton said responses at the local and diaspora levels had generated support of more than $200 million, with 44 clinics being adopted.
What the adoption basically does, it says, we want to partner with you. We want to partner with you as a business person, as a diaspora person, as a local business community, so that our health center is there, is ready, helps you with screening, go out in the community, talk to people, give advice to slow down the rate of disease and illness.
Stakeholders endorsed the minister's vision.
We want not just to adopt the clinic, cheerleading, but administer, but we want to be an integral part of what you do every day. We would like to offer our services at absolutely no cost.
The Adopt a Clinic program is a crucial step in our efforts to provide quality healthcare services to our communities.
The Inata Bay Health Centre serves more than 20,000 people in the surrounding communities, attending to, on average, 150 patients per day. And finally, the Scientific Research Council, SRC, is urging more food manufacturers to test their products for listeria, a bacterium that can cause serious ailments and even death when ingested. Listeria can be found in many of the foods that are consumed daily, namely dairy items, fish, and meat.
Once you're manufacturing food, right, you want to ensure that whatever you're putting out on the shelves, whatever you're giving the persons to eat, is completely free of listeria. So we can basically help you with that. You take your sample to us, we test it, we give you the results. Once we give you a result to say that your sample is completely free from listeria, you can basically rest assured that once clients consume it, they'll be safe and everything like that.
Small to large-scale food producers can take their product samples to the SRC's Hope Gardens office for testing. Evaluations are generally completed over a 24-hour period. Pregnant women, the elderly, and those with a weakened immune system who consume foods contaminated by the microorganism are at a high risk of falling ill. Some of the common symptoms shown in those who consume food contaminated with listeria are diarrhea, nausea, and fever. Microbiologist at the Scientific Research Council, Mandisa Jackson, is emphasizing that all Jamaicans should protect themselves against listeria by adequately preparing meals.
If you don't prepare your food properly, as in depending on where you get your food from, if you don't cook your food properly, you might get listeria. Right, so you want to ensure that whatever source you're getting your food from is clean and safe, as well as when you do get it, if it's something that needs to be cooked, you cook it properly, because cooking can get rid of listeria.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Teaching is learn by doing. So students don't learn by you telling them what to do, but they actually are able to use that hands-on approach to learn about what it is that they're doing. So for example, we're teaching about light, and we talk about what is light, so you give them a little bit of a background, you find out what they know as well, and then you are now actually creating something. You're making a model, you're using art, you're using science, you're using technology. So you're able to integrate these different disciplines so that students can walk away with the different process skills. In order for them to create, they have to go through a process. They have to think, they have to problem solve. And that is how you get the critical thinking skills and the creativity coming out, these 21st century skills. That is how they're able to actually do it.
If you hear the word STEM, we aren't necessarily talking about that of a plant. When we say steam, we aren't talking about water turned into gas either. We are referring to education. Now, this is a fun and innovative form of learning, primarily focusing on science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. Does this spike your interest? Well, watch this.
Let's go full steam ahead.
If you have the opportunity to get a STEM education, then you should, regardless of the field or the career choice. So even if you want to be a lawyer, the skills are transferable. So you still need to be a problem solver. You still need to be able to think critically. Employers are looking for graduates with STEM skills, with these 21st century skills.
Teaching future generations to think logically, critically, and focused on problem solving, all while grasping 21st century skills, is a challenge of a lifetime.
And the right policy to be put in place is to make sure that we are building schools that are going to be empowering our young people with science, technology, engineering, mathematics.
And of course, arts.
Because we believe that that is a space that we own and we can exploit for our economic and social development.
The new STEAM Academy being built at Dunby Holden in Bernard Lodge, St. Catherine, is not where it ends. STEAM is being infused in all aspects of public education, but the method modified to suit each environment. At the Alpha Primary School, a partnership with a private institution, STEM Builders Learning Hub, is expanding the aptitude and skills of children as young as age 6.
Little Einstein's program started in 2022, and it is out of the need to actually reach the students where they are at their different levels, and also to ensure that we start early. So this program primarily is for early childhood education institutions and for primary schools. So the program actually takes place once a week or twice, depending on the need. And we actually take the students through hands-on learning by them creating different things like robots, flashlights. So they're learning the theory, but they're also creating. Hi, I'm Cavell Hilton, CEO and founder of STEM Builders Learning Hub. We connect students to quality science, technology, engineering, and mathematics tutors, as well as resources including our STEM activity box or science kits. STEM Builders Learning Hub started because we recognize the need to provide quality resources for students.
We have done helium balloons, an explosion, a flashlight, a glow-in-the-dark slime, and now we are building an air car.
I would love to expand the program to the upper school, especially as the children are moving out into secondary education. I believe they are now at that phase where they need to make a decision about their own professional development and also as innovators to create new jobs. So I am processing, putting it into the school. We just need to consider some of the resources we would need in order to do so.
One of the major benefits of enrolling children in STEAM education is the fact that it awards them the skills associated with the 4 C's of what is needed to excel in this 21st century: critical thinking, communication, creativity, and collaboration.
STEAM education is very inclusive because it encourages students to do hands-on activities. And the kind of question that students are asked to answer, they're not given the answer, so they would need to think about it. It allows them to experiment if they are wrong. It also gives them the time to go back, think about what they did wrong and how they are able to correct it.
All right, so interesting story. Some years ago, my son is now an adult, he shared with me that he thinks school dumbed him, in quotes. When I spoke with him, he shared that he think he could have done much better, but the limitation of school caused him to do what was required, not what he could have done based on his potential. I was a grade 6 teacher and so was enthused about higher order thinking skills, and then I realized that for STEAM, it afforded children to reason at a new level and to think outside of the box.
As it relates to artificial intelligence, AI, I'm optimistic about the future as it relates to it. And knowing everything, you have negative and positive, but I think the approach is for us not to fear the technology because it's here whether we like it or not. And so my approach is to figure out how we can use it in our classroom in a safe way, and also for us to be able to not just be consumers of this technology, but that we try to also create things that will represent our perspective and our point of view from this side of the world, from a female, from a black person, from a Caribbean person.
We give our children a chance to be their greatest self. As Jamaicans, we see children by age and we say, no, I'm too young, you can't do that. However, what do we know? See a child as an empty slate, see a child as a blank computer. You input the data and look at what the computer will do. I believe that to an extent we have limited what they can, or we determine what they can do. Let us give them a chance to excel, let's give them the opportunity and watch them blossom, as I'm sure they will.
The goal of STEAM education is to foster the true innovation that comes with combining the mind of a scientist or technologist with that of an artist or designer and letting it work together for the greater good. So, how prepared are you in getting your child ready for STEAM education? It's already here. Get with the times and help put your child on the map with the skills of tomorrow.
The heat, the dryness, and the desperate need for some cool air. All signs that summer is near. School doors are about to be locked, and parents may not know what to do with their flock. Well, here's a summery thing to do. Register your child in the Jamaica 4-H Club's summer camp at the Denby 4-H Center. It's happening under the theme, Using Agriculture to Promote Discipline. The camp will run from July 10 to 15 for children aged 12 to 18. Come prepared to have lots of fun and participate in activities such as Culture Night, Sports Day, agro-related training, agro-processing lab experience, and farming, to name a few. Register now at any 4-H parish office.
Summer is here, and while I understand that we live on an island, so the easiest thing for us to do is visit the beach, have you ever thought about what else is there to explore? How about some bird watching?
A land with a blue depth of Caribbean Sea embracing its shores, with trees shading your backs, with the wind gusting through the branches to play a reggae beat on our skins, and above all, a land with a tropical climate. It's warm weather all year round, but with a slight variation between summer, winter, and a little more variation between hot and cold, just cool enough. This is Jamaica, and this is a cool summer in Jamaica. If you want to experience a cool Jamaica this summer, an ideal place to be would be cool Mandeville, but not just anywhere in Mandeville, Marshall's Pen Great House. And this is where my next summer stop took me.
We're at my home and private nature reserve, which is Marshall's Pen in Mandeville. So Marshall's Pen is located north of Mandeville, in a village called Miketown. It's like the rest of Mandeville. It's a little bit cooler, not as cool as it used to be, but it's still cooler than Kingston.
This natural reserve supports many endemic and rare species of plants, birds, and reptiles. So if you're keen on learning about the beauty of nature, then you'll fall in love with this 18th century property.
Marshall's Pen is unique because of its location with mid-level forest, and to be so close to Mandeville and still have a lot of good quality forest. Jamaica has altogether 30 species of endemic birds, and 23 of those can be found right here. So as far as possible, I try and grow endemic and native species in the garden. So some of them are found here naturally, and some I bring from other places. Some examples are the Pitcairnia bromeliad, which I brought here from Dolphin Head. It has some lovely red flowers and attracts hummingbirds. There's also the vervine, which has pink flowers and attracts hummingbirds as well. Very, very pretty. We also have some herbaceous plants like ramgoat dashilong. It's called that because it's reputed to have the quality of natural Viagra. A lot of people drink it. I don't. But yes, so the scientific name is Turnera ulmifolia. So also in the garden we have some very large and very old trees, and they're covered with bromeliads and orchids and other sorts of epiphytic plants that grow on the tree but don't damage it. And many things live inside those plants. So we have the whole ecosystem in the tree. Royal palm trees are also endemic. They're another good bird feeding tree. The fruits are loved by things like white crowned pigeons or ballpates. We have one of Jamaica's prettiest lizards here, if people can think of a lizard as pretty. I do. And that's the Graham's anole. The scientific name is Anolis grahami, and it's endemic to Jamaica. It's not found anywhere else, but it has different colours across the island. So here it's turquoise and orange and green and blue. We have 3 different hummingbirds in the garden. Red-billed streamer-tail, the vervain hummingbird with the smallest, which is almost the smallest bird in the world, and also the mango hummingbird, which is larger than the streamer-tail but dark and has some red colour. We also have lots of butterflies, dragonflies, and beetles, but one interesting one is the brightly coloured orchid bee, which is a turquoise colour, and you'll see it in my garden. You'll see it not so much on orchids but on the anthuriums, where it's collecting the pollen from the flowers of the anthurium, and it's going to use the scent to attract other bees.
This isn't only a place to enjoy the gifts of nature. Learn some more about our history as you enjoy this summer, like what it might have been like in the time of coffee, or the features of historic building designs.
The house was built probably in the early 1800s, and it has a traditional style of building. It had a wooden frame made out of Jamaican hardwoods like bullet and cedar, and the corners are made out of cut stone, and the spaces between them are filled in with what they call Spanish wall, which is made out of stones and red dirt, what they call red dirt mortar. Well, if you're walking around, you can also see the barbecues, which doubled then as now as a place to catch water. So there's no surface water here, so we have no springs, no wells, no other source of water but rainwater. And that's all caught on the roof and on the barbecue areas around the house, which are in the traditional style. And they were also used for drying coffee because this was a coffee property. Coffee really ended in the 1840s, and since then it's been a cattle property.
But the coffee storage house is now a cottage, so you can definitely stay over and enjoy eco-tours like bird watching, and
a lot of writers, bird watchers and artists love to come here to enjoy themselves, especially in the summer when it's cooler.
And just like that, a cool summer can be had in Jamaica. There's somewhere here fitting for just about any temperature you'd like to experience.
Child diversion in the Ministry of Justice is just our way of diverting children who are considered to be troubled, wayward, or children who just come into contact with the justice system. There are a few misconceptions about the program. One is that it's only bad children or children who always misbehave that come to the child diversion program. The program is here for children who make mistakes, as they will do because they are children. The other misconception is that once they are referred to the program, we are going to take the children away. That is not the plan of the program. In the best interest of the child, we try to ensure that they are around their family or the guardian that can support them to be rehabilitated. So they come to the program and they stay at home. As a matter of fact, most of them that come to the program don't end up at a facility for children. They stay at home and they complete the program there, and they continue with school and everything that they would do. If you know of children who have come into conflict with the law, one way or the other, consider child diversion as an option.
We've come to the end of our show for today. Join us again tomorrow when we bring you another informative program. In the meantime, stay connected via our website, jis.gov.jm. And while you're online, send your feedback to Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm or via tweet at JIS News. You may also find us on all the major social media platforms and through our mobile app that's both Android and iOS compatible. On behalf of the production crew, I'm Theodore Henry. Take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.